Hello friends, and welcome to my today's lecture, that is the sixth part of Sylvia explanation of Sylvia Plath's poem Lady Lazarus. In my last few lectures, you must have heard I spoke about Sylvia Plath identifying herself with Lady Lazarus, who dies and is brought back to life by Christ. In that sense, she is a biblical character. I also spoke about the two suicidal attempts of Sylvia Plath, the way she presented herself. Also spoke about the images of Nazi and the Jew, which continues all throughout the poem. The image of the oppressed and the oppressor, the victim and the victimizer. I had also mentioned the two images of peeling off and stripping off. There is an unknown enemy which Sylvia talks about, and also after the two suicidal attempts, she is again that same smiling woman. She also mentions that she has done 3 suicidal attempts in the 30 years span of her life, and she managed to do it attempting one attempt every 10 years. First attempt was accidental, but her second suicidal attempt was intentional. Sylvia actually had the wish to die, which is depicted by most of her words in the poem when we read through it. She also spoke about the image of picking the worms off her like sticky pearls. And she says that she is actually adept in the art of dying, art of committing suicide. And she says, I'm exceptionally well in doing this. She also mentions that she does it so it feels like hell. And because she does it, it feels real to her. She even says that maybe one could feel or one could sense that she has got a call. And also, when people see her reliving again, she is like a miracle. Now, the remaining part I'll be doing today, the last 4 stanzas of the poem, which reads: Ash, ash, you poke and stir. Flesh, bone, there is nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Herr God, Herr Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air. Right before these 4 paragraphs, we have the mention of Sylvia Plath as a pure gold baby that melts to a shriek. And she says, every time the doctors, they try to cure her after her suicidal attempts, and she does not underestimate the efforts of the doctor though, or the other people who are involved in curing her physically as well as psychologically, but they are like enemies to her because she resents coming back to life again. Now, she says there is no soul, there is no reality in her existence, but just ash. That is the remains of her burnt out existence. The people are trying to find her flesh bone, bring her back to life. They are trying to find fire, but there is only ash. She's also trying to universalize those incidents, the significant that are significant universally, because she related her incident to the universal events like the Nazi and the Jew image. She concludes her experiences and universal results unified, universal incidents unified together. Now, the image of poking and stirring also relates to Phoenix relationship, which is again of universal significance. Now, in the last two stanzas, we see that Sylvia Plath has changed her tone totally. Throughout the poem, the tone was of an ironic comment upon her suicidal attempts, self-mockery, and denunciation of herself. Feeling of triumph for her life, but now the tone has changed to that of threatening. Now the note of triumph was false. Now it is bewilderment and despair now. And out of this despair comes the threat to mankind. She considers God to be the adversary, and it could also be men who consider themselves God, or even the doctor who claims to recreate, or maybe all these three things merged together. They all act as a tormentors. To her tormentors, she throws this challenge that, like Lazarus and Phoenix, she'll be reborn out of her ashes, and that the victim will become the victimizer one day, and the oppressed will become the oppressor. She also threatens to consume the false image of men. The whole process reverses. Now it will be a sort of resurrection with greater energies, with stronger personality to take revenge. She also means that she'll re-emerge as a pure hatred for all the tormentors because of the male-dominated society. There is also a note of feminism, though it is not very apparent. Her acute suffering, which resulted partially because of men, though she doesn't mention them directly, but it's a father and a husband who were responsible for her suffering partially. So finally, she'll take her revenge on the male ego. That was all about Sylvia Plath's poem, Lady Lazarus. I'll be coming up, friends, with another poem of hers, The Explanation of Daddy, in my next few lectures. Till then, goodbye and thank you, friends.